Let's see. John, Ohio. You're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Good. How are you doing, Andrew?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Question for you. If you believe, if you don't believe that the Constitution is a living, malleable document, why do we have an amendment process?
The Constitution is living and breathing and malleable by the amendment process, not by the simple passing of federal law.
And how do those amendments come to be?
Well, you need a majority of the House, the Senate, and then the state legislature. You need the states.
Right. And that comes through a lengthy process of struggling what's already in there, right? Living with and struggling with what the Constitution says.
No.
It doesn't. Okay.
Where does the federal government get the power to force an American citizen to buy health care?
I would say that...
No, don't tell me what you would say. Tell me where I could cite it in the Constitution. That the federal government has the authority... No, listen to me very carefully. I want you to tell me where I can go to the Constitution and find the power of the federal government to compel a citizen in one of the states to purchase a product from a private entity.
It's not, but could that be an amendment?
Oh, anything could be an amendment.
Right. So if we're in a situation where the country is struggling with the whole concept of health care and who has it, who doesn't, which is a complex matter, that may lead to an amendment process.
We don't have one, though. Until there's an amendment to the Constitution, the federal government lacks the authority, sir.
Sure. Right. I agree. But what I'm saying is you have to admit the fact that the Constitution is living and breathing by virtue of it having an amendment process. If not,
but that is not how progressives and liberals and academics and Democrats approach it. They believe that the Constitution is merely a jumping off point, and the language of the Constitution should be reinterpreted as modern society evolves.
You don't think the language within the Constitution, there's times where it requires interpretation?
No. You tell me where I could find the interpretive power then.
That's like being a biblical literalist, being a fundamentalist Christian and being a biblical literalist.
Fine, so be it. You still can't find the power, sir. You can give it any name you want. You can give it any pejorative you want. You can look down your nose at it at any angle you wish. You still can't find the power.
It's inherent in the document if you read it a certain way and you think it means one thing.
No, that's not there. That's not there either, sir. That's not there. It's not there.
So it means what you think it means.
No, it means what it says. For example, can the Supreme Court decide to add an enumerated power to the federal government, to the Congress?
No.
Why not? Why not? If the Supreme Court were to decide that the federal government can have an enumerated power that it desires in the absence of a constitutional amendment, what would stop them?
Well, because the Supreme Court can't change the Constitution.
Why not? You just said it's this fluid, vacillating thing that evolves. What's to stop the Supreme Court? Oh, he hung up. Oh, he hung up. You see, the next thing I was going to point to him, that this concept of evolving language written into the rule of law can have problems. For example, what we might call rape today, tomorrow we might just consider a simple disagreement over consent. It's just a simple disagreement. He didn't mean it, Your Honor. By today's standards, this word rape, it doesn't mean what it meant when they wrote that law. It was just a simple misunderstanding. If words don't have the meaning as when they are put down on paper, then they don't mean anything. And it's unfortunate that liberals can't hold their own in these debates. 1-866-95-PATRIOT, 1-866-95-PATRIOT.